Okay, we'll move on to the good of the cause. Committee?
Oh, you want, I know, it was a good old cause.
Oh, I always let
You
it.
let, yeah.
So the past 2 weeks at East Brunswick High School have been the most exciting 2 weeks I've ever encountered in my experience at the high school.
Why you had no school?
Hours after the last board meeting, a Facebook group was made to inform all the students of what you guys spoke about. All the students came together and formulated their opinions, their arguments as to how they wanted to address you about it, and that was amazing, the way they did that so fast. Dr. Vanilla spoke with us at principal council meetings, several of them, and he listened to every single opinion that was there, every single comment that they had towards the new policy that you guys brought up. Sorry, this is an exciting topic for me.
Who knew finals could be so exciting?
Absolutely. So what's so amazing about these 2 weeks and why they're so exciting is how every single voice at East Brunswick High School has been heard. Every single opinion has been taken to heart by Dr. Vanilla and by you guys. That is amazing. And not only have every single opinion been heard, not only has every single voice had the opportunity to be spoken, but also they are educated. They are educated opinions and voices. They are educated because you have poured your time and souls into their education. And the students at East Brunswick High School have absolutely used their education that they have received throughout their course in the East Brunswick School District to formulate these opinions. And it's amazing how you were able to take these to heart and to immediately respond. I think that is an amazing thing of a school district to do. You have brought forth smart, educated, bright students who all had a speech prepared for tonight, a long speech with their opinions that they researched for hours at home, beyond their own schoolwork, to come and speak for you guys. And not only did they prepare these speeches, but they were going to say them confidently, that you were going to listen to them. They had the confidence to come here and speak, and that is amazing, because they knew that their voices would be heard. So thank you very much for being there for us as students, and respecting that we have a voice. Any other child who's under 18, we don't have the right to vote. There's no right to vote. You're under 18, you're a minor still. The first thing that you think is, well, this big board of educated people who are all, graduates and scholars, they're not going to listen to us. We're just kids. That's what any other student would think, but not in East Brunswick School District. Every single student knew that what they said counted, and that is what is so important here in the school district. And thank you very much for presenting us with that opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Vanilla, for hearing every single voice and being the liaison to convey our voices to the Board of Ed. Thank you very much. It is much appreciated by every single person. And I spoke on behalf of all the students who are involved in the process of formulating these opinions and bringing this up to you guys. Thank you.
I don't think it comes as any surprise that you guys have the ability to get up in front of a speaker or just stand right here like you're doing yourself right now while you're sitting, and be able to speak so eloquently, because we've been having student presentations from the beginning of the year here, and we've had first graders get up and are trained and taught how to do public speaking and how to make express their opinions right from the very beginning. So the fact that you could do that right now is no surprise, it's no accident, and it is a tribute to not only the school system, but to your family and your own sense of self-worth. And we do listen, we're a community. And I'm only speaking for myself right now, but what you say and what you believe matters to us. It always matters to us, is what's the driving force behind why we're here. So I congratulate you for sticking up for your own rights, and expect that you'll do that always.
As Billy Joel once said, we didn't start the fire, but that's not true. East Brunswick School District, East Brunswick High School did start the fire, but you guys provided us with the information on how to start that fire. So we thank you.
What it is. Didn't have anything to do with Memorial, did you? Just a
No. Dr. Cohen, could I?
Sure, sorry.
I wanted to speak after the student presentations at the good of the cause. As your superintendent, I want to tell you how impressed I am with your ability to, as Dr. Cohen said, stand before a group of people and articulate your beliefs and your research. This wasn't just an emotional reaction. This was it was emotional, but it was also based in scientific fact. So I applaud that fact too, but I also want to give credit to your teachers, and again to Dr. Vanelli, your administrator. Since I became superintendent, I had a conversation with the board, and if you look on the website, we have the E cubed B equation, and that's really relates to examine our current condition. We want to explore opportunities to improve anything about our athletics, our academics, or the arts, and we want to engage our stakeholders. And our students are our stakeholders as well as members of the community. And so I wanted to apologize to the students because I think we missed that mark before I made the recommendation. And so that is something publicly I wanted to apologize to the students for, because I think it's going forward, we need to do a better job of that. And as superintendent, I'm going to make sure we do a better job. So I just wanted to articulate that.
Mr. Simmons.
First of all, I've heard quite a number, most of us here have heard quite a number of adults speak at the good of the cause, not nearly as articulate, and having the kind of backup as this whole group of students did today, not just the presentations, but the folks that spoke about this issue, were some of the most articulate speeches I've ever heard here. Passionate, clear, not nervous. I would hope that wish we'd have more opportunity for students to come speak to us than we do, because clearly it's a window, and we hear from Michelle, but we get a window into what's going on that we can't get from any adult. So for that, I'm appreciative of the coordinated effort to come here and speak to us. I am curious as to what the Churchill students have to say about all this. I think they do not share the thoughts of the seniors and some of the juniors out there, and I'm also curious as to what the 10th graders have to say. I think there's a mix, okay, I will say that. I think we did hear from a group, okay, now I'm mixed on this issue. I'm clearly on the fence. I was not here 2 weeks ago, but I don't know what to do about this. Clearly, park is an issue, okay? I agree with Ms. Kornavaca, and you're in the back there. Well said. Clearly, well articulated. It is an untested place we're going down. But in terms of exams and midterms, I really don't know where I am on that. But I do think that although we heard from wonderful position today, there are others too that we have not heard from. So Dr. Valesky, to that point, I'm sure there's a big camp out there that was kind of cheering a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. We have tabled it, but I do think there is a lot more we have to see, not just from that issue, but how this testing will play out. Kind of a new day here. That's all.
Yeah, and just to add to Todd's comments, I also was not here 2 weeks ago, but I was at the committee meetings where the topic was previously discussed. And I have to say, my immediate reaction was, you can't cancel, these tests, it's kind of sacred. But I think the rationale was sound in that the goal was to increase teaching time. Kids are in school to learn, not to take tests. So I think we just have to find the right balance.
See, you and I can't miss meetings. This is what happens. We're not here, and they get rid of midterms and finals.
But
It was just finals, for heaven's sake.
I totally agree with the idea of tabling. We'll look at it, explore further. But our goal is, get kids to school to spend time in the class learning, not
Which we've
taking
always
tests.
done a good job doing.
Yeah.
Right. Mrs. Becker.
This has nothing to do with the finals.
That's
I
it.
just wanted to make an announcement about an event. Bear with me, I forgot my Chromebook, so I've got to read this on my cell phone. On February 28th, at 2 p.m. at Churchill Junior High School, is the annual Finlay Urban Game Day from the Fast Break Buddy Ball League. This league offers special needs kids and young adults a chance to learn the game of basketball and feel good about themselves. And the game day is a culmination of everyone's hard work and dedication. So again, this year, the 8th annual game day, Saturday, February 28th at Churchill Junior High School at 2 o'clock. Please come and show your support for this outstanding program.
Thank you. Mr. McAvoy.
I want to go on record congratulating the coaching behaviors of our varsity boys basketball coach, Coach Mark Mataseski, and our girls varsity coach, Coach Keith Lane. As many of you know, I attend the sporting events quite regularly. And in both situations, it came down to the senior night in which both programs recognize the seniors who are on the teams. Parents are recognized, and there's a nice celebration that takes place on the court. I'm going to have to say this may be one of the, this is the first time that I have seen the game open up with 5 seniors on the court. Both the boys' game and the girls' game. Now, this is varsity competition. This is not recreational ball. This is not 8th grade ball. This is not 9th grade ball. This is not JV ball. This is varsity competition. And these games have PowerPoint numbers involved with regard to where the team finishes out their regular season record in preparation for state tournament placement. And to have 5 girls and then 5 boys who normally are reserve players start the game, and Coach Mataseski and Coach Lane both leaving the kids in for almost 6 minutes of the period is such a compliment to their teaching styles that these kids will remember this the rest of their life. These are lessons that their starting teammates are going to take with them. These are lessons that the opposition coach should learn from and maybe do the same. So my passion for athletics is obvious, but I just want to go on record making sure that Coach Lane and Coach Mataseski hear that the Board of Education recognizes a rather important event in the lives of bench players. Thank you, Dr. Cohn.
Thank you. Any other comments on the good for the cause? Just one quick comment. I just wanted to echo the remarks. Tonight was the induction ceremony for the National Honor Society. 133 students were inducted into the Honor Society, and I constantly hear rumors in the community about how the schools are slipping and we really need to stay on top of things, and things aren't really as good as we say they are. 133 students to be inducted into the National Honor Society. I don't know if it's a record, but it is absolutely a very, very high number, and all of those students and parents and family members should be proud of that accomplishment, because it really is. And finally, it is the official Chinese New Year today, so I just want to shout out a Happy New Year to the 25% of the community that is celebrating this holiday this evening. We do have a need for closed session this evening, so I'd like to move that the Board of Education approve the following resolution. Whereas the Board of Education must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in a public meeting, and whereas these subjects are within the exceptions of the Open Public Meetings Act and are permitted to be discussed in closed session pursuant to NJSA 10-412B, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss the following matters. Pursuant to NJSA 10-412B, 4, any collective bargaining agreement or terms and conditions which are proposed for inclusion in any collective bargaining agreement, including the negotiation of the terms and conditions thereof with employees or representatives of employees of a public body. The collective bargaining contracts discussed are between the Board of Education and the East Brunswick Education Association. Pursuant to NJSA 10-412B7 and pending any pending or anticipated litigation or contract negotiation other than in subsection B4 NJSA 10-412, in which the public body is or may become party, any matters falling within the attorney-client privilege to the extent that confidentiality is required in order for the attorney to exercise his ethical duties as a lawyer. The nature of the matter described as specifically as possible without undermining the need for confidentiality is, and you could see in the minutes there are approximately 8 pending board legal matters for our discussion this evening. And pursuant to NJSA 10-412B8, any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion or discipline of any specific prospective public officer or employee or current public officer or employee appointed or employed by the public body, unless all individual employees or appointees whose rights could be adversely affected request in writing that such matter or matters be discussed at a public meeting. The nature of the matter described as specifically as possible without undermining the need for confidentiality is employee number 20636 and 22905. Whereas the length of the closed session is estimated to be 90 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and immediately adjourn, proceed with the business where formal action will be taken. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education will recess into closed session for only the aforesaid subjects, and be it further resolved that the East Brunswick Board of Education hereby declares that its discussion of the aforesaid subject will be made public at the time when the public's interest in disclosure is greater than any privacy or governmental interest being protected from disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
So moved.
Mrs. Howard is a mouthful, Mrs. Shaw. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? Thank you, everybody.